Have you ever noticed that some of your best ideas appear when you least expect them? Maybe when you are waiting in line, taking a shower, or feeling frustrated because you can't solve a problem. What if I told you that boredom and frustration are not your enemies, but powerful tools that can help you unlock your most creative self? Welcome to BetterSelf, the channel where you learn to improve your English while also developing practical skills to grow as a person. In today's video, we are going to explore how you can use moments of boredom and frustration to become more creative, more productive, and more fulfilled. By the end of this video, you will not only have new strategies for creativity, but you will also have practiced clear and simple English. Let's begin the journey to a more mindful, creative you. Chapter 1. The surprising power of boredom. Many people believe that boredom is something to avoid at all costs. We live in a world full of distractions, where we can always pick up our phones, watch videos, or scroll through social media whenever we feel bored. But what if I told you that boredom is actually a signal from your mind, inviting you to explore new ideas and directions? When you feel bored, your brain is telling you that it is searching for something more meaningful or interesting to do. Instead of seeing boredom as a problem, try to see it as an opportunity, a blank canvas where your imagination can start to paint. Think about the last time you were truly bored. Maybe it was during a long commute or while waiting for someone. Did you notice your mind wandering? Perhaps you started daydreaming or thinking about something you want to create or change in your life. This is not a waste of time. In fact, this wandering is your brain's way of connecting ideas and searching for new possibilities. One simple exercise you can try is this. Next time you feel bored, instead of reaching for your phone, close your eyes for a moment and notice where your thoughts go. Allow yourself to be curious about whatever comes up. Sometimes, the most original ideas are born in these quiet, empty moments. Chapter 2. Understanding frustration as fuel. Just like boredom, frustration is often seen as a negative feeling. We tend to get annoyed or upset when things don't go our way, or when we struggle to solve a problem. But what if frustration is actually a sign that you're on the edge of a breakthrough? When you feel frustrated, it means you care about the outcome, and your brain is working hard to find a solution. Let's imagine you are trying to learn a new skill, such as playing a musical instrument or writing in English. At first, you might feel excited, but after a while, you might get stuck and feel frustrated. This is normal. In fact, research shows that frustration can help us focus our attention and push us to find creative solutions we wouldn't have considered otherwise. Here's a practical tip. The next time you feel frustrated, take a deep breath and remind yourself, this is a sign that I'm growing. Try to step back and look at the problem from a different angle. Sometimes, taking a short walk or talking to someone else can help you see things in a new light. Remember, frustration is not your enemy. It can be your guide to a better idea. Chapter 3. The science behind mind wandering. You might be wondering, why do boredom and frustration lead to creativity? The answer lies in how our brains work. When you are bored or frustrated, your mind often slips into a state called mind wandering. This is when your thoughts move freely from one idea to another, without any specific goal. During this time, different parts of your brain connect in new ways, which can lead to unexpected and original ideas. Scientists call this the default mode network. It's like your brain's creative playground. When you allow your thoughts to wander, you give your brain a chance to make connections between things that might not seem related at first. This is why you might suddenly remember an old memory, or come up with a new solution while doing something boring or repetitive. To make use of this, try scheduling some mind-wandering time into your day. For example, you could take a walk without any music or podcasts, or just sit quietly for a few minutes each day. Notice what ideas come to you during these moments. You might be surprised at how creative your mind can be when you give it space to wander. Chapter 4. How to embrace boredom in daily life. Most of us have been taught to avoid boredom, but what if you could learn to welcome it? Embracing boredom is a skill you can develop, and it starts with changing your attitude. Instead of seeing boredom as something negative, try to see it as a doorway to creativity. One way to practice this is to build small moments of boredom into your routine. For example, you could leave your phone at home when you go for a walk or try doing a simple chore, like washing dishes or folding clothes, without any background noise. At first, you might feel uncomfortable or restless. That's okay. With practice, you will start to notice your thoughts becoming more interesting and creative. Here's an exercise. Make a list of activities in your day where you usually feel bored. Next time you do one of these activities, try to stay present and notice what happens in your mind. Do you start to daydream, imagine stories, or solve problems? Write down any interesting thoughts that come to you. Over time, you'll find that boredom can become one of your most powerful creative tools. Chapter 5. Turning frustration into a creative breakthrough. Frustration is not just an obstacle. It can be the very thing that leads you to your best ideas. When you are stuck or unhappy with your progress, your mind is forced to find new paths. This is why some of the world's greatest inventions and works of art were born out of moments of deep frustration. Consider the story of Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb. He tried thousands of different materials before he found the right one that worked. Each time he failed, he learned something new. Edison once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His frustration did not stop him. It pushed him to keep searching until he succeeded. If you are feeling frustrated with a problem, try writing down all the possible solutions, even the silly or impossible ones. Sometimes, the best idea comes from an unexpected direction. Give yourself permission to make mistakes and see frustration as a sign that you are moving forward. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this feeling? How can I try a new approach? By changing your relationship with frustration, you open the door to creative breakthroughs. Chapter 6. Practicing mindful observation. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When you combine mindfulness with creativity, you train yourself to notice the small details and hidden patterns that others might miss. This can help you see new possibilities, even in boring or frustrating situations. For example, next time you are waiting for something, maybe in a line or at a bus stop, try to observe your surroundings closely. Notice the colors, the sounds, the people, and even your own feelings. Instead of wishing the time would pass faster, become curious about everything around you. This simple act of mindful observation can spark new ideas and insights. You can practice this at home too. Pick an ordinary object like a cup or a pen and study it carefully for a few minutes. Ask yourself, what is interesting about this object? How could it be used in a different way? By training your mind to observe deeply, you build the foundation for more creative thinking. Chapter 7. The role of play in creativity. When we think of creativity, we often imagine artists, writers, or inventors. But creativity is not just for professionals. It is something we all have inside us, and one of the best ways to unlock it is through play. Play is not just for children. It is a powerful tool for adults too, especially when you are bored or frustrated. Playing can mean trying something new, making up a game, or simply allowing yourself to be silly and experiment. For example, if you are stuck with a problem at work or school, take a short break and doodle on a piece of paper, play with building blocks, or invent a quick game with a friend. These playful activities help your brain relax and connect ideas in new ways. Research shows that when people allow themselves to play, they become better at solving problems and coming up with original ideas. So, give yourself permission to play, even for just a few minutes each day. Notice how your mood changes, and pay attention to the new thoughts that come to you during or after play. Play is not a waste of time. It is a key to creative thinking. Chapter 8. Reflection and journaling for ideas. One of the best ways to capture and develop creative ideas is by writing them down. Journaling is a simple but powerful habit that can help you make sense of your thoughts, especially during moments of boredom or frustration. When you write, you slow down and give yourself time to explore your feelings and ideas in more detail. Try this exercise. At the end of each day, write in a journal for 5 to 10 minutes. Start by describing a moment when you felt bored or frustrated. What were you doing? What thoughts or ideas came to you? Did anything surprise you? Over time, you may notice patterns or connections that you did not see before. Many successful people, like Leonardo da Vinci and Maya Angelou, used journals to record their thoughts and discoveries. By making journaling a regular practice, you give yourself a safe space to experiment with ideas and reflect on your creative process. Remember, there are no rules. Just write whatever comes to mind and see where it leads you. Chapter 9. Creating space for inspiration. If you want to be more creative, you need to create space for inspiration to find you. This means making room in your schedule and environment for quiet, unstructured time. In our busy lives, it can be hard to find moments when we are not working, studying, or connected to technology. But these quiet moments are where creativity often begins. Try setting aside a few minutes each day when you do nothing on purpose. This could be sitting in a park, lying on your bed, or looking out the window. Allow your mind to wander without any specific goal. At first, you might feel restless or guilty for not being productive. But with practice, you will start to notice new ideas coming to you during these moments of stillness. You can also create a physical space that inspires you. This might be a corner of your room with comfortable seating, some art, and a notebook for ideas. When you enter this space, let your mind relax and be open to whatever thoughts arise. Remember, creativity is not just about working harder. It is about giving yourself the time and space to let new ideas grow. Chapter 10. Turning everyday problems into creative opportunities. We often see problems as things to avoid, but each problem is really a chance to be creative. Every day you face small challenges. Maybe you are trying to cook with the ingredients you have, fix something that is broken, or communicate an idea in another language. These moments are opportunities to practice creative thinking. Instead of feeling annoyed or defeated, try asking yourself, how can I do this differently? For example, if you are missing an ingredient for a recipe, try to invent a new dish with what you have. If you are struggling to express yourself in English, think of a simpler way to say what you mean, or use a story or example to help. Many inventions and creative solutions have come from people facing everyday problems. The next time you are frustrated by a challenge, remember that it is a chance to use your creativity. Make a game out of finding new solutions and celebrate your successes, no matter how small. Chapter 11. Building a creative mindset. Becoming more creative is not just about learning new techniques. It is about changing your mindset. A creative mindset means being open to new experiences, willing to take risks, and not being afraid of making mistakes. It also means seeing boredom and frustration as normal parts of the creative process, instead of something to fear or avoid. Start by telling yourself that everyone is creative, including you. Practice being curious about the world and asking questions, even if they seem simple or silly. When you make a mistake or feel stuck, remind yourself that this is part of learning and growing. You can also surround yourself with people who inspire you and support your creative journey. Share your ideas with friends, join a club or group, or look for stories of people who have turned challenges into opportunities. The more you practice this mindset, the easier it will become to use boredom and frustration as fuel for your creativity. Finally, let's put everything together with some daily practices that can help you develop mindful creativity. Remember, creativity is not something that happens by accident. It is a skill you can build with small, regular actions. Here are some daily habits to try. Spend a few minutes each day in quiet reflection, letting your mind wander without distractions. Notice and write down interesting ideas or thoughts that come to you during boring or frustrating moments. Practice mindfulness by observing your surroundings closely, even in ordinary situations. Allow yourself time to play and experiment without worrying about the result. Use journaling to explore your feelings and develop your ideas further. Pick one or two of these habits to start with, and notice how your creativity grows over time. Remember, even small steps can make a big difference. The key is to be patient, kind to yourself, and open to new possibilities.